You're listening to the Coffee Hour. I'm Andy Bates.
I'm Sarah Golseth.
Thanks to our friends at Concordia University, Wisconsin for supporting the Coffee Hour. Find out more about them at cuw.edu. It is, we're going to be healthy today.
It's a day to talk about food.
That's true.
Which is
I
pretty
do
much
like
any
talking
day of the
about
week.
food. And we have some really fun recipes on deck as well.
I know.
With Sarah Carenti. She's health and wellness educator from Concordia Plan Services and also happens to be a dietitian as well. So just happens to be.
Like a little hobby of mine. Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining us today, Sarah. And I'm excited to talk about, some healthy recipes because
And
isn't
don't
January...
turn us off, people. This is going to be fun.
Keep it on because we have good food to talk about today. It's going to leave your mouth watering and you'll want to go make something healthy to eat. Yes. So this is Heart Health Month, right?
Yeah,
Isn't Healthy
It
Heart
is.
Month? Is that, do I have it right or am I saying
Heart
this back?
health.
Heart
I think
Health
all
Month.
of that counts.
Healthy
yes.
Heart Month.
Yeah, however you want to say it.
All right.
Yeah.
So because of Valentine's Day, I guess, in
Yes.
February. So we're going to talk about some healthy stuff in a little bit, but let's be frank about why we like the stuff that's not so healthy. Then we'll talk about the healthy stuff. Why do we like the stuff that's not so healthy? Why is it always so tempting and delicious?
Why is a donut more delicious and tempting than an apple? It is how it's made up. The most highly addictive, if we want to call it that, components in food are salt, sugar, and fat. And it's the way that our brain reacts to these things. We get those big doses of all those feel-good, neuro things in our brain whenever we consume those kinds of foods. So whenever you eat those and then you get these good feelings, and it kind of starts to condition us to be like, oh, I want to do that again. That felt really good. Like it tasted
Must
good.
eat
I feel
salt.
happy. It must be good for me. Yeah. So it does complicate the whole eating healthy thing. I totally acknowledge that when I'm working with people, but that doesn't mean that it's impossible to eat healthy either. You can still have small bits of those things in your diet and still, have good flavors and the wonderful components that those things bring without compromising your health.
Yeah.
And that's the key.
What is it, moderation?
Yeah.
Like a donut once a week may not be a terrible thing for you.
Right.
Just like don't have 3 a day.
It's funny when people ask me, tell me, about this and that. And it always comes down to, oh, so what you're saying is moderation? I'm like, yeah, in like 5,000 words, sure. Yeah. And I know they hate hearing that, but it really is that. Like, I think sometimes we overcomplicate things. And really, like, if we just keep it simple and keep it easy, it doesn't have to be so complicated. There's lots of companies out there with agendas for products or anything like that they're trying to convince us that it is complicated, but it doesn't have to be. That benefits them when it does appear complicated.
Yeah. So what are like the best foods or the simplest ways to eat foods that are good for your heart?
The first thing I always tell people when they say, what is the best food? I say, the best foods are the ones that you eat. Yeah. Like the ones you like. So if you don't like blueberries, then I never tell people to eat them if they don't like them. But for your heart, we want to be focusing on the things that have a lot of fiber and a lot of antioxidants. So those are going to be things that are helping to capture what we call the free radicals that kind of roam around that damage our cells. That's what the antioxidants are doing. Fiber can help play a role in binding up certain types of cholesterols and fats and things, which could be promoting heart disease. So those are really helpful. But then on the side of the things that we want to watch the saturated fats, which are going to be in any sort of animal product, and then watching sodium, which is going to be in anything you get at a restaurant or any packaged food or kind of processed, pre-prepared kind of food. So making sure that people, when they're buying foods, kind of limit the processing or limit the seasonings that are on there, because food companies are selling foods that taste good. And
Otherwise they wouldn't sell.
Right. And this is the same debacle that happens in every place that has a cafeteria. People always say they want healthier options, and they give them to people, and then what ends up selling? the pizza and the chicken tender and all those things because they taste better. And people
everything with bacon on it.
Yes. And sour creams and cheese. Yes. Yep. So, yes, keeping it simple, making sure that you're selecting things like one of the recipes we talk about here that I think you guys are going to share has salmon in it, lots of vegetables and things that I don't want people to be afraid of. Like when we're talking about high fiber foods that have lots of nutrients and water packed things, potatoes fit that bill. Like potatoes don't have to be this scary thing. They've kind of been given a bad reputation for really no good reason. So fitting those kinds of things in, as long as there's not an allergy or something like that, can all work. It can all kind of combine to be a very heart healthy thing. It does then to come down to how you prepare things. If you take these really simple, healthy things and then add a bunch of gunk to it with different fats and oils and salts, well, you just kind of redid what all the food companies would have done for you, and you've made it unhealthy.
I think that's how potatoes got the bad reputation.
Yeah,
probably.
It wasn't just being a potato that gave them a bad reputation. It was the way we prepared them.
because if it wasn't fried, it was then a baked potato with sour cream and cheese and bacon.
Yum.
Yeah.
Sounds delicious. So you have some recipes that you shared with us that we could look at today. Some not too difficult recipes, but are heart healthy as well.
And delicious, too, by the looks of them.
Yes. So first up, one-pan salmon.
One-pan salmon. So this isn't something, like, I literally kind of threw this together, and I want to remind people, when you see recipes like this, especially ones coming out of CPS, they're meant to be really easy, that are easy things to substitute in and out. So again, if you don't like Brussels sprouts, don't eat Brussels sprouts. Just put something else in there. Eat the things that you like. But I wanted to make it super simple and easy. And the less dishes, the less prep work, all of that is, I know, what is in my lifestyle and probably in most people's lifestyle. And that is going to be one less barrier to eating healthy.
Yeah. So we've got salmon, which is one of my favorite things to eat. Quite honestly,
salmon.
It is just delicious.
Another important part about salmon, some of those fattier fishes, they're fattier, but they're the omega-3 fatty acids, which for those of you that haven't been in biochemistry in a while, I know you guys were just there. Oh, okay, forever. But, you know,
Forever.
those are the fatty acids that are going to be more protective. They're not the inflammatory fatty acids. The 6s and the 9s tend to be more inflammatory. So we don't often want to add a lot of those. We get a lot of those in the American diet. So trying to encourage more of the omega-3s like salmon has, those are going to help to promote heart health or reduce your heart risk.
Yeah.
So that's why we put salmon here. But if you wanted to throw some tilapia on that pan, that's fine too.
So this is pretty much salmon and vegetables.
Yeah.
Which
Really
sounds
easy.
really easy.
Yeah.
That's like my life.
Yeah. Super easy. Throwing it on one pan. The biggest thing that I just remind people of, I am so big on food safety. So just make sure that you're checking those temperatures. If you buy fresh salmon, sometimes the thicknesses can vary. So it's really hard for me to just say, cook it for 20 minutes and you're fine. Because maybe you found a really great hearty piece of salmon.
Like those grill cut ones that are like 2 inches thick.
Yes, like those.
I'm the worst person to talk to about appropriate temperatures for cooking fish.
Yeah, I won't
because
tell you if we check ours or not.
I like it still like flipping out of the ocean. So
Oh, I'm with you. An overcooked salmon. My mother-in-law really loves that, but I like the nice flaky. I put the temperatures on here so people know what they're shooting for. You're not trying to make sure all of the moisture is taken out of it, but you want to make sure it's safe too. So
food safety.
Yes.
Yes.
Make sure you're cooking it to the right temperature.
Exactly. So the other recipe we have may be a little foreign to people, but I promise it's good. Well, I haven't had the one with strawberries, but chia pudding with strawberries. So what are chia seeds?
Well, you guys remember chia pets and like the seeds
do.
that like sprout it? It's that. It's that. It's
I have
just
a horrible college story
Oh man,
that I won't share.
let's not share that.
usually I'm like, well, now you have to, but I'll trust
No.
you on that one.
Let's just
Not
say
today.
cleaned the chia pet off before spring break, came back, and there might have been something growing out of the drain in the sink.
No.
So Chia seeds do have life in them. They do grow.
They do.
Don't put them down the drain.
They do.
Life lesson.
The beautiful part of them is that when you put them in some sort of liquid, they're going to expand and become gelatinous. So they get like that pudding jelly-like, very technical terms here. But they also have a lot of those omega-3 fatty acids that we were just talking about, but from a plant-based form. So for people that are looking to incorporate more omega-3s, and maybe they don't like salmon, or maybe they're vegan, this is a way to do that. You don't have to do it in the pudding. You can put it in oatmeals without soaking them and getting all jelly. But do remember, because it is a fatty acid, because it carries that kind of molecule, it's going to have a lot of calories to it. So it's very similar to when you add peanut butter to something. Great source of, nice plant healthy fats, but it's a fat. It's still very calorie dense. So you can't just go sprinkling it on everything and and then get away with it.
And be sedentary.
Right.
That's the other half of this heart health thing.
Right.
Oh, so we have to move too?
I mean, yeah. You do.
A little bit, yeah.
So what goes into the chia pudding with strawberries? What are some of the ingredients in that?
So this one is going to include the chia seeds with some unsweetened almond milk. The part of the unsweetened almond milk, most standard almond milk is just going to have a little bit of sweetness to it, usually like a sugar cane or something. So people are thinking, well, unsweetened, it doesn't even taste that sweet anyway. It is. And that's just because added sugars do play a component in our heart health. So the more that we eliminate those, the better. And then just some simple way to sweeten it a little bit, using like an agave nectar for people that want to be a little more pure, and doing like a maple syrup. They could do that. If you're okay with sugar substitutes, you could do like a Splenda or a stevia or something like that. And then just a little bit of cinnamon and vanilla. Again, with this one, if you don't like strawberries, do raspberries, do blueberries, banana, whatever it is that you want to do. Yeah. And I even put a little note on this one that if you wanted to make it like a chocolate one, you could put a little bit of cocoa in there. Or if you like peanut butter, you could do like the PB2, like the powdered peanut butters, and make kind of different flavors from it.
Where do I find chia seeds? I just now realized I don't think I've ever purchased just chia seeds before.
You can find them at most grocery stores.
In what part of the store?
Nuts and seeds aisle.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Is that an aisle?
I don't think so.
You can buy them online too.
Yeah. Or some of like the health food stores.
So I don't have to buy a whole chia pet in order just to get the chia seeds.
No.
That would be an interesting experiment.
A year from now, Andy has like a collection of ceramic things with no seeds on them. But his heart is healthy.
We'll share the recipes with the program notes today without the chia pets.
Oh, man.
So chia pudding with strawberries and the one pan salmon as well. They had potatoes and Brussels sprouts in it. Oh man, now I'm hungry.
Right? I know.
No one cooked this for us today.
No,
man.
we should do that
next time.
Lunch.
Thanks so much for joining us for the coffee hour today, and planning something that's heart healthy as well. Now I'm hungry. Thanks so much, Sarah.
Thanks, everyone. Be well.
You're listening to the Coffee Hour. I'm Andy Bates.
I'm Sarah Golseth.
The Coffee Hour with Andy and Sarah is a production of KFUO. To support the Coffee Hour and KFUO Radio, visit KFUO.org. You can also text KFUO to 41444 or send an email to gifts@KFUO.org. And you can call us at 800-844-0524. KFUO. Christ for you, anytime, anywhere.